Wake Forest, Louisville, coming up right after this. And known as JMH, John Michael Hayden, and wanted to kind of look at his Vasquez. Once he starts going, if he can start scoring, Kyle, I think this team can turn and get over that little bit of hump.
Yeah, like we said in the intro, they just need to get some goals and start, you know, competing offensively in conference play, because once that clicks, then they've got the defensive solidity to back it up.
Kruger for this Wake Forest team, then 4-3-3. We talked about how essential those center backs are. He's been big too.
Yeah, he's been huge, and you know, having him through the last few games has been important for this team to sort of steady that back line for Wake Forest.
Now this is the beloved and born in Frankfurt, Germany, but in the Philadelphia Union Academy, and a superstar on the back line for this Wake Forest team. We are underway. Is already running into each other.
We talk about, you know, Harvey Sarajan going vertical, loving to get forward on goal. He just went vertical, just shoulder into the defender on the first 2 seconds of the match.
Deeks coming back home from a scrappy win versus Cal. Coach Muse told me, you know, that Cal is a lot better team than people think. Check out the last 7 matches as Wake Forest, once number 1 in the country, and then hit the Valley. But a team that, you know, has kind of the traits to maybe turn it on like they did last year. Kyle.
Yeah, they went on a late season run last year and you know, hit their stride really in the ACC tournament, which is exactly what you want to be doing. JMH actually alluded to that when he spoke to us. He was like, hey, you know, like Wake did last year, that's when you want to be playing your best ball. And so every team leans on that and says there's still time to turn it around until there isn't. And you know, both teams here really tonight are looking to finally press that button.
Yeah, you never really know what kind of team you have, right, until they're up against the wall with the possibility of no tomorrow. And I think with how the team went last season, they were able to show and jump right off the wall. There is John Michael Hayden. He was a baller himself at Indiana. His 7th year, also was an assistant coach. Had the pleasure to talk to him this morning, very candid, which, Kyle, we appreciate when coaches can, you know, just kind of talk about soccer and don't feel like we're bothering them. I mean, that was just really a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and I think what's, you know, unique, too, is right now just the struggles that they've had in ACC play. You know, some coaches really just force the all things are rainbows and sunshine.
White. Tiptoeing. How do you get out of that one? The return. And Thomas creeping up into the attack.
And what was really refreshing, Ty, just to finish that point, was that, you know, he said, hey, these are the things that I'm frustrated by, and these are the things that I'm hopeful about. And it was a really honest look at the team that's, you know, hey, we're struggling, and that's okay. And this is, I think, what we're having trouble with, and here are the things that I've been able to lean my hat on.
Yeah, he definitely spoke to us like he was a player in the locker room, right? Wake Forest looking for a chance to get on the board first. They have been vicious in the last 2 minutes. Inside touches in the box. We talk about how important those stats are. We show those on our stat form, but it's something that we kind of keep up with, Kyle. I know you do for your job.
Yeah, that was a beautiful couple of runs there into the penalty area and nearly putting it in the back of the net.
2 years ago, Louisville, they were out again to that tremendous start. They had so much talent, speed, athleticism, and then they had Sventonov, who was actually, you know, healthy. He did not play last season because of an injury. I mean, that team looked, they were primed to go to the College Cup. And I had the pleasure to call one of their games. And I said at that point, I'm like, I don't know who can beat this team. And, of course, then the same movie that's been played today or this year is played in 2023. White. Oh, that's a good ball. That might flick in and, oh, just about tucked in. Sventonov not going to be fooled by that.
This Wake Forest team is flowing right now. Just the one-touch passes, the first touches to put themselves in great positions. Sarajan just can't quite get the contact on that to put it on frame, but that buildup was beautiful. You sort of look at that and you go, you know, if that's this team's best, maybe they can make another late season run. They've just got to get solid at the back. And man, that was beautiful. Just pinging it through defenders all the way from their own defensive third.
Seems that that's the case for a lot of ACC teams too, right? You see the flashes of how great they can be, then they'll go into the doldrums, getting right back out. Just wonder which team could catch fire. And Coach JMH said that too. You know, all it takes is just a little spark. So far, Wake Forest playing with spark after finally seeing a victory in the ACC play. I mean, hard to imagine after being ranked #1 35 days ago that struggling to just try to get a first win of the ACC. But then you look at the standings, which we'll talk about that a little later. That's well done into the pocket, clipped over here to the right to White. White chasing it down. And keeps it in play. Thomas. Setting up almost their half-court offense is Flax. And Asad Umar working. It's Thomas. Coach Muse said a very positive week of training. The morale was up. He said he could see the relief on the faces of his team after that victory against Cal. And it was a scrappy victory.
Ty, that has been the problem for Wake Forest all season. Giveaways in central areas.
Yep.
It has been repeated all year long, and it feels like this team keeps shooting itself in the foot in that way because, man, if you can stamp those mistakes out, this is a very good Wake Forest team. See what Louisville can do to capitalize on that.
And Louisville awarded the first quarter of this match. Michael Lee will take it. It's a very young Louisville team. Wake Forest also very young. And this will be an in-swinger hit well, directed right in front of the 6-yard box. And arriving, trying to adjust it, was Kaholi'i. There's Coach Muse there in the pink, representing the Jenna Wiley Memorial match. As you see his record, of course, his record against ACC foes. And Louisville already back into the area. Return fire and just missed. Low left corner. That was again Kaholi'i.
Wow, that is a big opportunity that goes by the wayside for Louisville. This Wake Forest team was scrambling. He had the goalkeeper beat. The entire left side of the net was there for the taking, and they just missed. That's one where if you come up empty at the end of the game, you remember moments like those because that is a huge opportunity.
Louisville, when they score, they've been pretty perfect. Almost came away with first goal in quite a long time there. Right after Wake Forest put the pressure on the Cardinals. Another trip down into the attacking third. This will be a throw-in for the Cardinals. Oh my goodness, what a hit that just kept rising, but half volley attempt. Good on you, Jack Lewis.
Yeah, if you're going to head the ball clear, you have to get it clear. That is not going to do the job, and it gives the opponent a good opportunity with a lot of space. Look at Louisville press here.
Yep.
2 players pressing the goalkeeper.
Turn half volley attempt, and Wake Forest is trying to put bodies there. All of a sudden, the script has flipped.
John Michael Hayden told us before this game, Ty, he said, it's not enough to disrupt Wake Forest's possession because they're so patient, you're not going to frustrate them. He said the key to playing against Wake Forest is to fight possession with possession. So this Louisville team is wanting to keep the ball on their own and keep it away from Wake Forest, because the best way to beat this Wake Forest team is to beat them at their own game. And that is not easy to do against a possession team.
It's a risky pass as Bednard able to clear it. Jeffrey White trying to get fancy on the touchline, and that one had a wicked bounce on it. As Lee with a little step over. Service inside the box. Tate Lawrence coming all the way back to play defense. Bassett Umar interjects. And Louisville back with possession. That one filtered, but no Cardinal on the end of it. And just like that, 5 shots for Louisville after Wake Forest started 2 shots to nothing.
Yep, Louisville survived that early storm and have turned on the Jets. This pressure is forcing Wake Forest to go long with it every single time. They are putting 2-3 bodies up ahead on the ball carrier in Wake's own box, and they can't get it clear.
And there's something to keep an eye on, because when we talked to the coach, John Michael Hayden, he said the depth has been really tested in this group. Now, again, we talk about pressing. You also got to think.
Yeah, how do you last 90 minutes with that? Exactly. And you don't have a ton of guys to turn to on the bench. So we'll see how long it lasts. But what this pressure does, Ty, is not only does it force Wake Forest to go long in order to get out of jail, but what it also does is it forces them to pass it backwards. And this Deeks team wants to go. They want to get out of their own half. And when they pass it backwards, you can then press even harder, because you can use the end line as another defender,
exactly.
Really. And the further you push them back, the more they feel like they're hemmed in. That's a giveaway.
And this transition can be dangerous if Wake Forest can ping it around with accuracy. Tate Lawrence has been pretty accurate. 1 extra touch, and you see that Gangan pressing there to get that one back.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful tackle.
And Lawrence coming over from Carolina, leading the team in points. Probably something that I don't know many people had that on their bingo card coming into this season, but Lawrence, a very special talent from this area. And has just kind of jumped out of the nest and has spread his wings and started to fly. He's been very potent on the attack with the wings.
Yeah, what's great about Lawrence's game, too, is that he'll take players on one-on-one, and he's a volume shooter from an attacking perspective, but you're okay with that because of what he's capable of.
Bassett Umar, quick feet, which JMH said he sticks out right away on how
I feel
special.
like every coach we've talked to, when we say, tell me what you see about Wake Forest, he's the first player they point out.
He goes out there like a man possessed, and there's a reason why he wears that captain's armband. That's exactly who you want. Somebody in the center of the pitch that will fight tooth and nail, even when you're down 4-0 in Charlottesville, and relentless to get a brace in the second half. In his mind, he thought they were going to make a huge comeback. I mean, He went inside the net, grabbed the ball, quickly ran to the center of the pitch, put it down. Virginia's looking like this. I think this game's over, but not to Bassett. You want that kind of warrior mentality.
I tell you what, somebody else that looks lively tonight too is Sarajan. He's everywhere, and not every pass has been on target, but he has shown up in so many different areas for a number 9. He's coming back into midfield for some hold-up play. He's cropping up on the wings, combining with Tate Lorentz and Bassett Umar, and even trying to get some shots off. So he's been very, very lively here early on. You can see why he has sort of taken to that striker role.
Well, that almost worked out well, too. It's Kamara below. Kamara trying to get free behind that back line. Almost worked. Bednard now having to use his feet. Our official today, center referee will be Kevin Morrison. Rick Rogers is the AR, and Gabriel Rivera also on the line judge. He'll be on the near touchline. Rick Rogers on the far touchline. That's well held up. Good square pass, breaking some lines. Jeffrey White looking to find Sarajan. Rentz a little bit iffy on trying to lift that foot up.
Yeah, you don't want to give away a foul for a high boot, because that'll end this promising attack.
Overloads on the left side. You're wondering if that ball will spray out with Jeffrey White poaching on this back door. Flax. Also, Flax, his body language looks like Cooper last season too. Just very confident.
Jack Lewis has to be careful how much he says to the referee right away, because refs remember that stuff, and if you try to argue another call later, they can almost, give you a dissent accumulation booking instead of, you didn't say anything too harsh, but hey, you've been in my ear too much tonight.
Yep.
It's almost like an accumulation foul yellow card.
I was guilty of that a couple times. Just constantly chirping. Couldn't help it.
You?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, as a player and as a coach. Probably more as a coach, though. That's sad.
Coaching can be frustrating, I'll give you that.
Yes.
Oof.
There's another player to watch, too.
What a ball.
Agunlia. That kid is not only huge, but got a lot of talent. Think about him in the set pieces for Louisville. Out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, 6'4", just a beast. Only a sophomore. Louisville very young. And we had our conversation. It was, what's the best way to say? Like, how do you blueprint how you're going to kind of look and build into the future? And JMH was kind of just saying that, well, look, it's almost the old school way. You want that camaraderie that starts, from these young players that grows and grows and grows, would then become a dominant upper-class team, which that's why he's got a lot of underclassmen here on this roster, but also having to, of course, deal with the transfer portal and still recruiting. I mean, it's not as if Louisville is not known for their soccer.
Yeah, and that's what the modern age of the transfer portal does, is it makes things so much more difficult from a team building perspective, because before the transfer portal, great defending there by Kruger, you were able to build from the ground up. And, you know, if you had a rough season, but your team is young, you gained something from it.
That's clever. Oh, it did link up with Lawrence. Lawrence, 2 options to his right. Arriving a little bit delayed there was Flaxen. Flaxen put his head down on a ball sent a little too high by Lawrence. But what? Why not? Just try to test your lung distance.
That's right.
He's trying to apply the pressure. Louisville able to get out of it for a brief second. Thomas latches onto it. It's Perez ushers it back to Kruger. Travis Smith Jr. from the Bluegrass State, Kentucky. Pass it Omar. High. Through ball. White. Just a tad bit up ahead.
That was
White, he was ready to go.
That was a great first touch, Ty, and it got away from him just a little too much. But the idea was perfect. He was trying to use that touch to move the ball into the path that he wanted it to. And that's exactly what you should be doing with the first touch. It didn't work out because, you know, Umar had to fire it in pretty hot in order to get it to him through the window. But when you see a player have the innovation to use a first touch like that, even when it doesn't work out, you go, the idea is the important part, right? Then we'll work on the execution.
Kind of seen both teams throw a punch. Nothing has really landed yet. As the shot tallied at 5-3 in favor of the Cardinals. Travis Smith, important center back, returning back after he was drafted, a Louisville native. You see Sarajan kind of hanging in between the center backs, waiting to be released.
Yep, and he being double covered gives Bassett Umar a ton of space.
Sarajan coming up into that pocket. Now it turns into an overload on the left side. Beautiful night here, though. Beautiful night for soccer. ACC teams that fighting to keep their season to the next level, postseason play. It's been almost a given for Wake Forest, but with last year and now this year, they've had to crawl their way out of the grave. Speaking with Coach Muse, he says he sees the fight in this team. They're not quite sure, but he said, look, Ty, Pitt is at the bottom of the ACC. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here? I mean, and Pitt is a very good team.
Very good.
And NC State, who at one point #1, well deserved. They had only won 2 ACC games themselves, just one more than Wake Forest has. It's just, and Stanford, who I said #1 team, and I guess the coaches agreed with it, put the #1 in it. I don't see anybody better than Stanford right now, even though Louisville did beat them earlier in the season. Let's
Feels
see
like ages ago.
if the sniper can work, hit hard, driven, and Sventonov plays it right off the hop.
Yeah, well played by the goalkeeper. He was in perfect position to make that save, but good on Wake Forest for getting this on target. Perez with a good shot. It's got pace. The end of the day, you want it on target. I would rather that than have it go flying over the crossbar. Make the goalkeeper make the save.
Step by Lorenz. Able to turn, still with it. Getting past Bridge Bassett. This first half is shot by Kyle. We're already over 22 minutes remaining in the first half.
It feels like there's been a lot of action. You know, both teams have had spells of possession and good attacking intent. Started with Wake Forest for the first 5 minutes, then Louisville turned it on, and now the Deacons are going again.
Bassadumar trying to slip through. And that will be a free kick. That is another thing that Bassett does very well. Because he's so low to the ground, he can kind of escape. He makes a little bit of move and just a little bit of a late attempt, what you say, maybe even I would say a stab at it, and then he's tripped. And it's blatant. I mean, not blatant, but it's obvious that it's a free kick for Wake Forest.
And I will talk about this until I'm blue in the face, Ty. First touch,
yep.
Gorgeous. And he had to stretch for it, and it just dies right at his foot and allows him to then latch onto the ball and make a move. Anybody else, I mean, with a fraction of a worse touch there, the ball rolls away and it's defensive possession. But he's not only able to step his foot out and keep the ball at his feet, but it just dies right there.
A flag set up in between the crosshairs. Can Cooper draw the first blow in this one? Something he has done many, many times. It almost deflected in a fortuitous goal for Wake Forest. It was a fortuitous anything for the Demon Deacons. Svetnov, I don't care how good he is in that deflection, it's hard to stop that. Driven low.
Looks like it comes off Sarajan.
That's 2 set pieces or 2 free kicks that have crept up by 5 yards. And we're even on the shot tally, 5 apiece. Louisville also without an important player, Ryan Quintos, who came over from Wisconsin, and since he has gone out, it's been a different team. That kind of messes with the chemistry, and you know, it's what JMH said. These are the things, the blows that you have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Hayden was very honest with us about saying, hey, this was a big loss for us. A really important player who we just don't have the ability to put out on the field, and it just sort of, it trickles on down from there.
Well played. And Louisville setting up nicely, and just a misguided hit there by Kamara.
It looked like a drilled play off the training ground. They found the opening.
Ballon. Last year played in 17 matches with 8 starts. He's been a starter this season. Sarajan, clever back heel, does work out. Bassadumar to the right. Sarajan, right foot. Bing! Just a little over the bar. That was well timed, well designed too. In fact, Tate Lawrence came out of nowhere on that far stick.
Oh, that has got to be in the back of the net, Ty. We had one for Louisville earlier that we said those are the ones you remember at the end of the game if things don't go your way that you want to have back, and that one Tate Lawrence will want to have back. He didn't really have time to take a touch and then fire it. That's got to be first time, and those are always so difficult to direct where you want them to go. But that is a huge opportunity. The goalie had not shifted over all the way yet. He had the whole goal to shoot at. It was just a very tight angle.
They do this every day at training. And Lawrence probably could do that in his sleep.
Yep.
Just right there. Just a little bit off. Still sit 0-0. A fixture that looked as if this was going to be a blockbuster matchup 5 weeks ago. But 2 teams that still have tremendous talent and a lot of youth. Now Louisville trying to get some numbers down.
Great tackle.
Kruger, great tackle. Still Louisville driving in. Just on the far stake, another missed opportunity, this time for the visitors. And again, that ball just spit out right there for the taking. And that was Michael Lee. It was Johnny on the spot, just couldn't quite put it in the spot.
Man, this game could be 2-1 on another day.
Scribano on that left side, getting that 5th year. It was Flax his senior year, trying to make it memorable. Jeffrey White also having to be the masked wonder now with a hurt nose and having to go to the face mask.
It was funny. I was asking him about it at training the other day, and he said, "No, it's fine. I don't mind playing with it. It's a little like." I think the way he said was like you feel it, right? You feel it all the time, and it's noticeable, and that can get annoying. But he said he didn't have any vision problems or anything like that. It's funny because when you look at the professional game and some guys that wear it, some of them hated it. I mean, you look at Kylian Mbappe had to wear it for a while, and he didn't like it. I'm trying to remember who it was.
The attacker, the striker.
Yeah, that just kept taking it off.
Yeah.
I think it was Heung-min Son for Tottenham, just kept taking his off. But then others love it.
Perez.
Victor Osimhen, it was his thing.
Yes.
Look at this opportunity for Louisville. That is wide open because Mednard misses the cross, and then you have the entire goal to just tap the ball into. But that is a high degree of difficulty, sliding in, because you have to keep your body protected from the post, because the post is right there, and if you don't protect your body, you're going to go slamming into the woodwork.
Now here's Coach Muse kind of flexing his muscle with the depth. Talked about how Louisville may not quite have that strength. Coach Muse does, as he brings in former Louisville players, Subachan, and also brings Rabiot. Both have been in the starting lineup. Subachan, part of the Louisville team, decided to change his address. He's also in Debah. Prized freshman Thomas trying to skate. The last second tackle there by Agunlia knocks it out of bounds. And just look at massive he is. That's the type of player you want in that back line. Someone that comes in
big presence
for a throw in. I mean, for a set piece. This one is thrown in by Thomas.
What a slide by Perez. Not only did he win the ball, but he kept it at his feet. That's hard to do.
13 minutes remaining in this first half, and it has gone by in a flash. Both teams really, really thirsting for another ACC win. And Louisville just thirsting to see the ball go in the back of the net. But again, this says it all about the ACC, Kyle. You have a team like Louisville, you look at the standings, and Wake Forest to the bottom, and you're like, you're only as good as your you would say your weakest link. But this Louisville team and this Wake Forest team could play anybody in the country. Could stand toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, and it really underpins the idea that at the end of the day, you got to win your games. Yep. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you don't win your games, you're not going to keep playing.
Louisville trying to get some numbers down here. Travis Smith Jr. jockeying, holding it up. Gonna send it into the box for Louisville. Coach Muse said about Debah that every week he gets better and better. Just a freshman.
Yeah, and he's going to play a really important part on this team, Ty. With the players that they have leaving in the next year or two, he has a huge role to play on this team.
Good leadership by Flax. He will send it into the center of the pitch with Torbeck. Ushering it to the left channel.
Joel Torbeck's another guy that's going to have a big role on this team.
Debah having to dance. Showing how quick his feet can move. Rabiot, fresh legs, number 7. And hanging out close to that back porch. Here's a service. A little bit overcooked off maybe the shoulder of Rabiot. Rabiot fighting. And the whistle blown on him. NC State in action tonight against Notre Dame. I'll tell you how that's going at halftime. And Duke and Clemson will get things started in about 20 minutes. Duke has been that quiet team that has stayed in the top 10 and it's been consistent. And if you're a coach, I think you'd like them to be in that range, right? You don't get that big bullseye being number 1, but you stay in the weeds but very close.
Yeah, but also just being able to maintain a top 10, top 15 ranking all year long. Like, there's been so much turnover in the rankings this season. When you look at Wake Forest and Louisville, we've got a perfect example of that in front of us, but it's way more than just these 2 programs. And so to be in the rankings like that is really, really a boon.
Yeah, I mean, and now with the college soccer landscape, especially men's side, that quote-unquote mid-major, that really exists. See what Bryant's doing. Vermont, they did last year. It's Flax. They slipped that one to Thomas. Torbeck ushers it across his body. Nagima. And the Deeks pinging it around slowly but methodically, trying to work into that last phase of the attack. Under 8 minutes. This is the 18th meeting between the Deacons and the Cardinals. Thomas hits that well. Somebody to get in there and try to claim it if you're Wake Forest. You almost wondered who got caught ball watching. Too many bounces in the 18 without a foot on it from the attacking team.
Yeah, I think both teams have had moments like that on either end. This has been a really back and forth and even game so far.
Boring has come in the first time the state of Tennessee. Played his high school ball at Brentwood, which was a top 5 team in the country. Oh, that's well played back, but just nobody making a run there.
You've got to have somebody there in the penalty area. When you see that ball as the right winger go up and over to the far post and curl to a teammate, you've got to make that run.
And those are those small things, too, that build to become bigger things. You constantly get frustrated and maybe missed bunny like with Lawrence right there on the far stick, and then something that no one was at home to try to make a run and come to. Coach Muse told me that there's no sugarcoating it. The match against Cal was sloppy but scrappy. He was proud of the guys for fighting all the way to the end and getting the result. Flax hanging on. A little friendly shove from the back. Is Wake Forest looking at the clock with 5:05 remaining in the first half. Both teams sitting 0-0. 3 points would be huge for either club right now. Thomas. And just to kind of give you an idea, the 2-0 loss that Wake Forest suffered against Stanford, they actually moved up in RPI because of the loss.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you play top teams, you know, and that's why the ACC is nice, but you've still, at the end of the day, got to win enough games to keep your level afloat, and that's why tonight it's so important. A draw really doesn't help either of these teams, to be honest.
Right. Good use of space, Escribano. Torvik. Here's Subachan. Trying to fund the top corner, and it just went a little wide. Wow, what a talk about a revenge game against his former club.
He had the right idea here. Smart to take a first touch, and then took it with his left, tried to curl it into the top corner and just didn't get the bend on it, or did get the bend and started it too far left. Either one. This has been a game of missed opportunities, Ty. We're sitting here right now, we could be at 2-2. This is a 4-goal game on another day in the first half. There was a lot of space to shoot at there.
Subachan's first attempt. See the opportunities that Wake Forest has had is somewhat to have Wake Forest with their head up. I mean, there has been service balls inside the box. It has stayed right out of the side the 6. They've had good looks. They just can't quite put it on target.
Yeah, I mean, look, this soccer is a game of volume. You also got to make them pay, though.
Rabiot. He's ready to cut that back. It worked out well for him. Will be a corner for Wake Forest. The first Wake Forest corner all evening. Torvik will take it. Flax will be his short option. Rabiot right at the center, on top of the 6-yard box. Let's see if Wake Forest can dial something up in the last 2 minutes of this first half. Escribano left foot and going towards the crow's nest. He had some attitude and some venom with that one, but again, it skied on him.
He had a lot of space to shoot that. Great touch onto the left there, and just could not get it on frame.
He'll remember that if he can get a chance from that distance. He definitely had some firepower behind it. Gonna sit it down a little bit. 90 seconds remaining in the first half. Nice turn, Subachan trying to thread it for Rabiot. Rabiot, that one was caught in his blind side. Sventnov will take his time before he lets this one fly. One save for Alex Sventnov. Bednar doesn't have a save.
Yeah, neither goalkeeper has really needed to make one because there's been so many chances that haven't.
One shot on target.
Yeah, haven't found the frame.
Wake Forest build from the back and get up into the attacking third one more time before halftime. Debah in plenty of space. Debah rockets a shot. Welcome to Wake Forest. Debah, the freshman, scorches the back of the net and makes Wake Forest jump out on top. 1-0.
A potentially huge goal for the season this year for Wake Forest. Debah with a great first touch to win the ball on the left flank, move it centrally and put it right within his path, and then nobody stepped to him. There was no defender that forced him to pass it, so he said, all right, I'll take it. They just kept backing off him, and he buries it. That's the moment where you have to make them pay for the mistake, and he does it exquisitely.
And we talked about stepping up. These are the times where you need maybe that freshman to step up and express themselves. Well, Fredo, as they call him, just stepped up. His first goal of the season in the 45th minute. And getting past Sventnov is a very tall task.
Yeah, it sure is. And that's a moment, Ty, where you as a goalkeeper, you're going step to the ball, step to the ball, step to the ball. And nobody steps, and that's where you get sold out.
Had shades of Baba Niang's goal. It was from the other side, but the space has been given to you. Why not give it a ride? Well, Debah makes it 1-0. You wonder how much weight that goal will serve for the favor of Wake Forest. Louisville quickly trying to counter back. And they've got 8 seconds to do so. Well, they've stopped the clock. Dramatic stop. So these are the rebuttals that Wake Forest cannot let up, and Louisville has to come through with something. It's a good ball, too. Bent down low. And just sending it up on a moment, a karate kick, ninja gaiden style by Subachan. And we got a hurt player down. It's a Louisville player that's down. Touched up a little bit. Bednar checked on him.
They could have had 2 goals very easily tonight. And so Wake Forest has to remain vigilant. This game is far from over. The Deacons controlled the final 15 or 20 minutes of that first half, but there were definitely periods where they were under pressure. And it's exactly what their coach said for Louisville was the times that they were most in the ascendancy, Ty, were the times when not just they pressed Wake Forest, but when they themselves possessed the ball.
One thing that Wake Forest has to make sure that they put the clamps down. An injured player. And make sure that Louisville doesn't come away with a goal while they're asleep coming out of the gate.
Right. It's happened this season.
Hopefully Jack Lewis will be all right, get brushed up a little bit. There's a couple choice punishments in a referee.
Yeah, referees don't love that when a player has an injury, and then gets up and uses the stoppage to argue with the official.
From Blackpool, England. Last year played in 17 matches, starting all but one. Mostly holds an Australian, Canadian, and British passport. So he's well traveled. This is the fun part, Kyle. We're trying to figure out what's the delay. Coach Music is signaling to either the official or his players. I mean, they're going to try to look at something, and now we're playing ball.
Right.
Debah starting in the second half, rightfully so.
Debah was amazing when he came on in the first half. Obviously, he got the goal. That's the big moment, but he was electric. We saw Harvey Sarajan was very, very good in his start. And then when Debah came on, he was lively as well. Those two have been the two most influential Deeks so far in this game, through the first half at least.
Walent to start in the second half. A player that had to sit on the shelf last year with an injury that has been trying to get back to the form he had in 2023. Wearing a new number, number 11. That could not thread to Torvik. A turnover right in the middle of the field. As Vasquez able to usher back in Louisville. They'll try the big ball over the top. Ronnie Thomas timing it right. Using the speed of Walent, still has it. An emergency clearance that sends it over the byline. It will be a corner for the Demon Deacons. There's Vlad Walent, who's played outside back. He's played wing. Torvik will take the corner. Goal here for Wake Forest would be absolutely huge. Clipped in. I get some torque to flick it towards the net. As Thomas arrives.
Louisville just allowing the Deeks to possess the ball. This was something that their coach told us before the game, as we've mentioned already, they were going to try to prevent. Right now they're backing off. They really pressed hard to start the half, and now they've sat back a little bit.
Kruger breaking lines, linking up with Walent, and Walent sending it back to Thomas. Thomas safety first and sending it back to his support on the way to Bednard, and there's again that turnover that you can't do this late in the season. Debah trying to body up. What a turn. Talk about tight quarters, and able to come up with a free kick on a trip up. There's Parham. They've just got a little piece of the boot of Debah. We talked about both these teams being young. Louisville priding themselves off such a young team. They did return 14 players from last year. The roster has 12 freshmen, 10 sophomores and 4 juniors, just 2 seniors. Debah is a freshman for Wake Forest, already with a goal, looking for a brace. Hits the brakes and sends one right at the chest. And Sventonov says going to have to come a little bit harder than that.
What a great move by Debah, though. The crowd oohing and eyeing after he sends his defender flying. That's Parham, who just goes sliding by.
Sventonov with now 2 saves. First 5 matches not giving up a single goal, and then going into 6 matches and allowing 1. That was to Virginia. This is a very good ball. Blocked down by Mednard. Tight space on that post, and Mednard able to slap that one down.
One thing the Deacons have done so well is use the touchline effectively. You see the chance here, just seeking that near post. Mednard was positioned perfectly. When you see the goalkeeper have to dive and make a tough save right at the post, that means they were positioned right where they needed to be. Because the goalkeeper is supposed to be positioned to where they can just barely reach a ball if it's positioned perfectly right inside the post. The Deacons have really used the touch lines well. They have comboed effectively out wide, whereas Louisville's been a little sloppy out on the edges.
Lund having a fight. That one will be a corner for Wake Forest. And, most of that first half without a corner. Deacons setting up for another corner. See what Coach Muse and his coaching staff will dial up. Set pieces are huge. That is a good bending ball by Torbeck. Thomas slides it over to Torbeck, and in the pocket and half space is Flax. Torbeck is a future leader of this team. Very special talent. What makes him special is just his dedication to every match and every small detail. And he'll give it to you straight. If he's not playing well, he'll tell you straight up, I'm not playing well. I love that confidence, because some players, they're forbidden to say that they're playing bad. It's against their ego.
Yeah, and it's also just good for a coach to see that a player can be honest about their own performance, because evaluation, self-evaluation is very important.
Very mature thing for Torbeck, and I'm sure he has high standards for himself, but he is going to be a star for this Wake Forest team. As Debah, maybe a star starting to glimmer, already with a goal.
Deacons really able to possess the ball right now and keep it away from Louisville. They know that they don't need to force it. They are trying to find an opening and create a chance. They want quality, not quantity right now.
Mitch Kruger, how big has he been? Just the presence in that center back, and Wallent hoping for a corner, and judge Rick Rogers says it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, just got away from him a little bit there.
Superchan and Torbeck waiting to see where the distribution is on the outlets to Lewis. The Deacons pride themselves in this memorial match. They are 10-0 for the Jenna Wiley Memorial match, leading 1-0. A lot of soccer to be played. Hoping to move that to 11-0. Wrestling contest between old teammates. Thomas, plenty of space up ahead. Flax has his hand up in the center. Thomas just with one extra touch. That kind of baits him. He tries to pinch in a little bit and makes one extra touch, and he can get so nasty by getting into that attacking third, right? And he's got to quickly get back because even with his speed, he's still got to really hoof it.
I tell you what, that was a great bit of defending, though, because with that extra move, Thomas thought the defender was going to go with it. So when he played the ball through the middle, trying to nutmeg him, and the defender didn't move, it's kind of like trying a Panenka penalty and the goalkeeper not moving, right? You do something that's creative and sneaky, and the opponent reads it. It was a great tackle.
Explain the Panenka too.
Oh, yes. So when you basically just clip the ball right down the middle, hoping that the goalkeeper will dive out of the way. It can look really smooth or really dumb, depending on what the goalie does.
A lot of that in soccer, right?
Yeah.
Torbeck applying the pressure. Kuholihi. Wake Forest back with possession. Torbeck. He's trying to thread that one up ahead for Subachan. Lewis takes initiative. Touch pass over to the right to Kamara. Kamara gets it back as he'll scan. The Cardinals moving their troops into the 18. Hit with a little too much weight on it. Wake Forest will throw it in. And their defensive third. Debah, number 4, was one of the players that was brought up in the conversation we had with head coach JMH. Parham. Back to Lewis as Lewis. Tight quarters finding Kaholi. Lewis not happy with that theft. Wake Forest trying to get some numbers. Debah to the left. Flax stays in that pocket. Debah. Little crossover step. Hits one with his left with a lot of venom, but blocked at the last second. Good defense by Louisville. Good defense by Debah.
And Debah just trying to work one-on-one with his defender, but when the second one arrives, that prevents him from the cutback. So the only option that he has is vertical, and it's Debah that reads it very well. That's why that double team is so effective, is because it basically prevents one of your options, so you only have the other, and there's no trickeration able to be done.
That will show off his arm here. Perez. See. For the space allotted, almost put that perfectly. Usher to the right side, and Thomas can't link up. That touch a little off Trying to find Flax, who was pinched out wide. Deke's starting to hunt here, looking for that. It could be the dagger for the Deeks if they can get goal number 2. Whistle. Stop play.
I think that was for an offside flag way out over there in the corner. Came a bit late. And the game feels very much in the balance right now, Ty. You know, Louisville trying to get out on the counter. They haven't been able to get much in the last 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes, but they do feel dangerous as they move forward nonetheless. Wake Forest with a lot of possessional volume. Not able to create much with it so far. But again, also feeling a little dangerous. So it's just sort of somebody is going to make the next move. They always say, right, the next goal is the most important. Well, obviously, it's 1-0. I mean, that's clear. But the point of someone saying that is fair, which is you're just sort of waiting for who's going to hit the next, who's going to connect with the next punch.
Perez is slipping in. Torbic and that one tangled up, and these are the counters that I think Louisville can execute and find the equalizer that they can get down, put some numbers in the box. Here's Kamara trying to dance around Escribano. There's a diagonal ball played for Lewis, just out of his reach. That was dangerous, something Wake Forest will have to keep an eye on. Well designed by Cardinals, and just unfortunately still starving for a goal. Now with Debah on this outside left, you have Wallin on the right. So Tate Lorenz, who leads Wake Forest in points, has been on the bench for an extended period of time. And you wonder, and that just adds, so Debah on the outside wing adds more to that depth if Debah, which as advertised, Massachusetts Gatorade Player of the Year, and finally getting on the score sheet, adds even more flexibility and creativity for Wake Forest.
Yeah, they've got a wealth of talent, no doubt.
That's a good step. Thomas reads that well. Loves the challenge of seeing if he can win the sprint. Oh, clever play by Subachan. Subachan with 2 on. Tried to get it through. Blocked. Thomas all the way into the attack in third. Will have to quickly get back. Subachan was trying to work his magic. That is a very well played through ball.
That was a pinpoint through ball. Beautiful ball up forward. And credit the Wake Forest defense for tracking back and making a nice tackle there, because wow, that was a wonderful vertical delivery.
And if you're wondering why Wake Forest is wearing their pink jerseys, this is the night that they'll serve as the program's annual Jenna Wiley Memorial Match. Deeks wear that special pink jersey, auctioned off, and all proceeds raised benefiting the Cancer Health Equity Patient Care Fund at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. The night is named in honor of the late Jenna Wiley, late wife of Steve Wiley, a former athletic trainer for Wake Forest. Good play, good vision by Nesto. Debah drew 2 defenders, played that one central. Louisville able to read it and clear it. Clearance. Samadi Thomas trying to send it into the box, and we got subs for Wake Forest. A line change, if you will. Debah will go out and get a rest. Debah, his first goal as a Demon Deacon, and the closing seconds of that first half, drilling it in the back of the net.
Yeah, you can see him look up, and he's looking for where the nearest defender is, Noah DeBlasis, and he's expecting him to press at some point, and he never does. So that's when Debah makes the decision to take the shot, and what a rip it was.
As a freshman, you finally see the green light. Let's see if you're going to see more green light. Sarajan also coming in, Subachan going out. It also looks as if Svetnov is going to get looked at. And 6 shutouts for Svetnov this season. He was named to the ACC preseason watch list, rightfully so. He had a huge 2023 campaign. That was where he broke out on the scene. He was actually signed with Indy 11 back on July of 2020. So the young lad that going to play at Louisville, and he's been one of the best keepers in the ACC and in the country. You got a keeper like that, anything's possible. Unfortunately for Louisville, and them trailing 1-0, just adding more salt to the wound. As the drought for a goal continues, but there has been really, really good promise in their attack. Kyle, I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, no question about it. It's just been today, I would say, the finishing. You know, they've had good movement, good crossing. The combinations are strong. They've just had 2 really good opportunities and haven't been able to bury either of them.
This bounces twice inside the 18. Nobody could get a foot on it. Outside of the box, ricocheted, and Kruger trying to throw at his leg to try to keep it in that attacking third. That will drive coaches nuts. 2 bounces in the box.
Yes.
Just staring at it. Quinton Wilson coming in for Louisville. His father, Nigel Wilson. Remember this, I'll show my age. He was first one picked in the expansion draft by the Florida Marlins. Name's Carter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that 96?
Nope. 95.
Okay. Oh, because the Marlins first played in 96, so it would have had to. Yeah, okay.
That's when they had the all teal hats, remember?
Yes.
That is, his son decided to go to soccer. And, big pickup for Louisville. Under 23 to go.
There have just been some moments for Louisville, I think, in this game where passes are just a bit off kilter. And there's different kinds of misplayed passes. There are ones that go out of play, where that's where I think they've struggled in the touchline. They've had a couple go out of play. Then there are ones that are recoverable, but they end a promising attack or a move. And you just saw one there on the near side where they didn't misplay the pass. They connected. There's no pressure. Nobody's pressuring them, but it was behind the intended target, which forces him to move back and stop his pressure forward.
There's a turn and blast, and then a return fire and into the back of the net, but it was waved off.
Whoa!
I mean,
my goodness, out of nowhere.
Again, these are how these things kind of snowball for a team that's starving for a goal. You put a shot like that.
We're going to look at this too.
And then return with a shot on that went in that maybe overlooked. Let's see if this...
Oh, he's on, Ty. This is going to be a good goal. My goodness, out of nowhere. That is when the shot is taken, and it's not remotely close. I think the referee's going to take one look at this and realize that we're level. And I think Louisville knows it.
We have quite much of a celebration for a team that hasn't scored in a long bit of time. So somewhat of a super sub in Quinton Wilson. On the video review, off the woodwork, sends one right in front of Wilson. He buries it. Flag was up, saying he was an offside. We saw the replay. I think they're going to read.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
It.
That's indisputable. I mean, just out of nowhere. He is not in a good shooting position when he takes this initial shot. Kruger is closing down the angle quite well there. There is not much of an angle to shoot at, and somehow he still manages to turn and fire it off the crossbar. And then it just falls right in the path of his teammate.
Finally, sigh of relief for Louisville, as it will count as a goal. Quinton Wilson, the freshman out of Toronto.
What a blast this is. And then the fortune to fall right in front of the attacker, and he buries the chance.
First time they've scored since Ohio State, and here's another try. All he needs is just one, right?
Deeks just lackadaisical right off the kickoff, snatched away, and Louisville right back into the attack.
Pardon me, it was Kentucky where they tied 2-2. Second time that the teams Louisville have scored. And Louisville feeling the confidence. Got one. They've broken that ice. Wake Forest now seeing the 3 points slip away. Bassett Umar. He's going to have to put on that vicious attack that we saw in the first half. A shove that sends Lawrence almost to the brick wall. But, not amused as the official points for a goal kick.
And now you look at both these teams and you say you've got 20 minutes to make a statement on your season, right? 3 points are huge at this point in time. And a draw does neither team any good. So who's got the goods to snatch all 3 points in this game?
First goal since the 23rd of September. As Lawrence, another spill. Official seemed to be entertained by Lawrence hitting the pitch. Under 20 to go. We have flip the script once again. We are tied at 1-1. Lawrence up ahead. And Sarajan start to shot. Sarajan left foot looking for that slot. It just veers right.
Ty, I'll tell you
that was
what,
the moment, didn't you?
it did look like it, but I will say this. Svetanov had it covered. He just missed saving that with his outstretched boot, and the ball just missed the post, which tells me he was in the perfect position to cover the goal there. It would have taken a world-class finish to get past Svetanov where he was positioned.
You almost got to feel the confidence of Svetanov move up too, seeing his team score a goal.
Oh, that is an ugly tackle, Ty.
Perez.
That's what they call a scissor tackle.
Yeah. Thomas tight roping on that touchline. Louisville playing with new purpose. Wake Forest trying to get that advantage back. It's played up ahead for Flax. Just a little too much weight on it. There's Agunlia immediately sent that one out of bounds. Lawrence is good at that, though. He shows his body, then kind of does a crossover, if you will, for basketball, and then that foot comes in immediately.
He's one of those players who you have to watch his hips, right? You can't watch his upper body. He'll fake you out.
Hips don't lie. Flax on the stage where he loves to be, maybe a little bit farther out than he would like, but he can still put a perfect ball in play for someone to run on. White. That touch there by Escribano. Captain to captain, Flax scanning. He's thinking about trying to send it across to Umar. And I miss it, but you don't see that much from Travis Smith Jr. And those are those August mistakes that you can't have in October. This match seems almost symbolic to how Wake Forest's season's gone, right? Up one, looking good, and then all of a sudden the goal that makes it level, and can White come up with an heroic strike, nipped by the fingertips of Svetanov.
And a heroic save.
Yep.
My goodness, full stretch. Great cut back there. White with the little left-footed flick. That is destined for the back of the net if Svetanov doesn't get his fingertips to it.
These are those stoppages of time, that delay, that lags, and you want to hurry up, quickly get the ball into play. Wake Forest will try to get some numbers in. Everybody's up. Travis Smith's there. So is Lawrence. Ball played up. Headed by Flowers, and then the clearance pushed up as Thomas will track it down.
pass the ball from Mednar and you go, ah! As a coach, just fizzing it right up the gut.
Locked 1-1. Wake Forest, though, with 14 shots. Louisville with 9. Vetnoff with 3 saves. Mednard with 1. Both goalkeepers allowing a goal apiece. One in the first half. Put Wake Forest up ahead 1-0. And then the freshman off the bench for Louisville comes up, gets the assist from the woodwork. See what Lorenz can do.
Great tackle, great defending. Parham all over it there.
Umar is going to have to get slippery. Clock ticking out of 13 minutes remaining. As you said, a draw for both these teams will feel kind of like a loss. And a point is precious in the ACC, but still, when you have 3 points, like Wake Forest had in their back pocket. Sarajan, left foot, off the knee of Svetnov. It will hover right in front of that back door, and he just punches out of hockey save.
Oh my gosh, Sarajan is having himself a game. That first touch to just feed himself vertically was gorgeous, and then put a shot on frame, made the goalkeeper make a save, and he did. Great stop once again by Svetnov, who just continues to keep his team in games during ACC play.
Under 12, locked at 1. Clipped in. Sarajan trying to get ahead on it. A 50-50 ball. And Kruger also interjecting himself into the fray. "15 shots for the Demon Deacons." Perez. Settled that one off the chest, and Amani Thomas slicing in, tripped up from behind, and that's going to be a card. Although Flax wants to quickly get a restart.
Yeah, I know what Wake Forest wanted to do there, but the ref's got to give a card for that. Yeah, dragging on his arm and then pulls him back by the hip. That's an intentional foul.
Flowers, you got the start tonight. Flax wanted to keep it going. Got his first collegiate start tonight. Flax in the pocket, scanning. And linking up with Perez. Redwell by Agulia. Well, it was a scrap of a win last week in Northern California. And the Deeks again They'll have to scrap here on their home pitch. Some subs coming in for Louisville. Still scoreless in both of the matches being played in the ACC with NC State, Notre Dame, and Duke, Clemson. Big ball over the top looking for White. He's trying to pick the pocket on the blind side.
Bassett Umar is beside himself that he didn't get a foul there as he was trying to follow the play. He's saying he got yanked down by his collar, and the ref said, "I'm watching the ball. I can't watch that too."
Slamming into Louisville player. Hoping for a surprise attack there and snatch it away down at the touchline. That'll be a free kick for Louisville. We'll put some big bodies in there. You can see Goumlier coming in. So Quinton Wilson. Wow. Not quite on the forehead to clear it, and almost tucked in on the far stick for Louisville.
Really strong driven ball here and well met at the near post, but oof, it's not really where you want to put it.
Under 8. 1-1. Louisville finally getting a goal, first time since September 23rd, where they tied the Bluegrass rival Kentucky. Bassett Umar.
They are hacking Bassett Umar. That's a yellow card.
Doesn't really have a yellow.
They have really, since Bassett Umar has come back into the game, Louisville has really gone at him. He is, even off the ball, they are playing physical with him.
They definitely know that he can pilot this attack.
So take a look at this. So Bassett Umar tries to take this free kick. They play it right up in his face. It's deflected off of him, and then, I mean, that's just a coming together. I think Vasquez knew exactly what he was doing there, going shoulder to shoulder. Just sort of, I'm going to run really close to this guy and make him move me out of the way. It's all gamesmanship.
That's what we call just a locator.
Right.
Come in, remember, I'm right here. But you're right, Louisville has kind of put the operation on trying to lock down number 22. You feel as if they can lock him down, Wake Forest can't get that attack going. which very well could be true.
There's that physical play on Umar again.
And that long ball that's a couple times that Wake Forest has tried the long ball diagonally. Forest has 12 wins in this series. Louisville with 4. It's a, yeah, Thomas wants the advantage. Has to pull it back. He's right. He's able to separate himself. The referee called it back.
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 places of the pitch, Ty, where it's really hard for the ref to play advantage. It's right outside the penalty area, and it's in your own defensive third.
Wilson. Good through ball up ahead. Louisville looking for goal number 2 in the winner, but that one knocked away.
Ty, 2 Louisville players got in their own way, it looked like, there on the finish there. This is a beautiful ball. Escribano never saw it coming. Great cutback, and then 2 Louisville players getting in the way of each other. That is a glorious opportunity if one of them leaves it for the other.
Not much time left. Louisville, they turn and fire. Man, that from this angle looked like it was a lot too close for comfort if you're Bednug. And the Deeks under 4. Pull the teeth out. Get inside the box like that, but of course Ventnoff read it well, one hopping into his hands. Ventnoff with 4 saves on the night. Three minutes. 3 minutes for 3 points. Who wants it? Lewis. The switch. Thomas. Made the theft and then got upended quickly. Whistle blown. Wake Forest has to quickly move this ball up the field with 2.5 remaining. Escribano looking for an option, and nobody was showing. Oh, wrestling move as Lorenz goes down now. Clock freezes at 2:17.
Yeah, and Ty, there's a few just small things here. You know, Quinton Wilson just kicked that ball back a little bit, trying to waste time, and what it did was cause the ref to stop play and allow Wake Forest to set that free kick up without wasting any more time. So it actually backfired.
White. Pass it Umar. Umar just over the bar, and he just couldn't get that one to dip.
That was beautiful from Bassett Umar. Wonderful flowing movement. I even think one of those dribbles was accidental. Just that little poke to keep it with him. I mean, just glorious. And then just needed a better finish. He is such a good dribbler of the ball. Every touch has purpose. Every touch, you know, just sort of surprises you. Ooh.
80 seconds. Urgency on for Wake Forest. Poked away. White there. Settles. 60 seconds.
Both these teams want it so bad. Very good foul by Cooper Flax. You could see him trying to do that.
Trying to get some numbers
repeatedly. Ref isn't stopping the clock yet.
There. 29 seconds.
I'm surprised he didn't get a yellow card there. Seemed like a tactical foul.
Tried to get it earlier. That's it. Referee didn't see it. Under 30 seconds. Louisville still searching for that game winner. Now 13 seconds. Bednard has to let this one fly, and Wake Forest has to fly down into the attacking third, and that one will just fizzle out on a shot that goes wide right. Wow, this is very similar to how both of these clubs' season has gone. Wake Forest gets that first goal.